only outlanding Pacheco by 6, but you see the fact that he threw more punches, 29 more punches in the round. And Teddy, it just seems right now that although the numbers and so on and so forth are not overwhelming in the challenger's favor, he seems to have more control as to what's going on in the ring. He's moving the champion into positions that he wants him to be in.
You're right, and there's a reason for that. He's a sound fighter technically, of course, and as we mentioned before, which is unusual, he's the more experienced guy. He has been in with the better opposition.
All right, let's get your trainer's cap on right now. If things are going Makepula's way, and I guess fans are tired of hearing this week, but it's too close to call at this point. What does Pacheco have to do now to kind of seize back control and use his attributes?
Stop moving so much. He's moving so much, he's taking away his greatest asset, his power. He needs to be set, use his jab to control Makepula from coming in, and then try to walk Makepula into punches instead of reaching for lucky punches like he just did a second ago with a wide swinging left uppercut. Get some control. Pacheco needs to start establishing that jab. Keep Makepula at the end of it. He has the longer arms, the champion Pacheco. Start using them. Use that jab. See, he's moving so much, Pacheco, and that's because Makepula was moving him. Pacheco is not set to punch. That time he was set, and he did it off a switch. He used a trick. He went into his bag of tricks there. He switched from southpaw to orthodox for a second. We talked about that, of course, in the build-up of the fight. And Pacheco will use those tricks, switching from southpaw to orthodox when he has to. He feels he has to now. But again, controlling the pace, Bob, the challenger.
Midway point of the bout. Very close.
Time.
There's never been anything like it. Delta Airlines introduces the new Delta Sky Miles credit card. It's the only card that can always give you double miles at these places every day. Just watch how quickly those double miles add up to your free vacation travel. Always double miles from Delta. Now isn't that a breath of fresh air? Call 1-800-SKY-MILES to apply now and get up to 10,000 bonus miles. There's never been anything like it. Delta Airlines introduces the new Delta Sky Miles credit card. It's the only card that can always give you double miles at these places every day. Just watch how quickly those double miles add up to your free vacation travel. Always double miles from Delta. Beautiful, isn't it? Call 1-800-SKY-MILES to apply now and get up to 10,000 bonus miles.
Round number 7 underway. Irene Pacheco and Masibulele Makepula for Pacheco's IBF flyweight title. No knockdowns in the fight. It's been a very strategic bout. Teddy, here's a question for you. You and I think that maybe Makepula is controlling the action a little bit, but is there a natural bias by the judges that you got to do a little bit more when you're going against the champion? I mean, is Makepula doing enough at this point where he can win these rounds when you're going against the champion?
Well, that's an old cliche, an old saying that you have to take the title from the champion. But in reality, probably has to do with more of who's your promoter. And who has the most influence in a close fight. The judges sometimes.
Now, Teddy, we had the opportunity to listen in to the corner of Pacheco in between rounds 6 and 7. And not a lot of fight strategy going on. There was just a lot of talk of, okay, we're halfway through the fight. We're halfway home. The second half of the fight. Are they trying to convince him? I mean, we know he's tough because he fought with a broken hand against Pena in the 8th round and knocked him out in the 11th. But maybe there is something to that, having to lose some weight, as if they're trying to convince him that he's got enough stamina to go the last 6.
That's a possibility. But right now, what's more important is Pacheco's using his championship experience to make his own adjustment. If you watch over this last round and the last round, he's been starting now to catch Makepula coming in. Makepula's reaching a little bit coming in spots in this round. And Pacheco has been looking to do what his strength is, to counter, to time Makepula coming in. And even though I made this statement before that Makepula was making Pacheco move too much where Pacheco wasn't set to punch, Pacheco is trying now to get distance where he can time, and that's what he's doing right now. Time Makepula coming in. Just watch Makepula when he comes in. He's a little wide. Pacheco's looking to zero in on that. And there goes Pacheco switching from southpaw to orthodox again. Which means that he probably feels he needs to do something to separate himself a little bit. In other words, he knows he's in a fight. Pacheco. Otherwise, he would just say, stay in the southpaw stance.
Trying to manufacture ways to get his offense going.
Trying to get an edge. Acting like a champion. Wanting to stay a winner.
Makepula, the challenger, very relaxed through these first 7 rounds.
Time.
Of course, out here, you're supposed to be quiet. But any fish that'd be scared off by that sound is no fish for a high-life man, Stable.
Of course, gambling is legal in Las Vegas. Lennox Lewis, the favorite. You have to put down 100 to get 400 back. For 2, if you put down 100 and he wins, you get 300 back. Lewis by a knockout fairly even. And the odds of 2 winning a decision, it's long odds, and a draw even longer. Chance for 2 to get the knockout. But Teddy, I think really the only way 2 wins this is if he does knock out Lewis.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You wouldn't think, being the shorter man, being the man who relies mostly on the left side, all left hook, doesn't really figure that he's going to win a decision. Figures that for him to win the fight, he's going to, if not have to score a knockout, 2 will at least have to score some knockdowns. Because if it goes rounds without anything really major happening, you would have to figure Lewis would be controlling those rounds with the longer jab.
Well, fairly close bout, very strategic. Both men have had moments, nothing spectacular. It's been very workmanlike. The corner of Makepula imploring him to move his head. Don't stand straight in front of the champion, Pacheco. Pacheco blocking those body shots. Now you see Pacheco again, orthodox style, working his jab.
Pacheco now not moving as much. We talked about it earlier, Bob. Being more set now, trying to go to his strength, trying to be ready to catch Makepula coming in. It's a double-edged sword here. Because when Pacheco stands there and he doesn't catch Makepula coming in, then Makepula is very effective with Pacheco standing there. Makepula is able to get in, get out like that, and change his distance again. So it's a double-edged sword. Pacheco, the big banger, wants to stand set, but when he does that, Makepula takes advantage of it. He gets in, he gets out. Maybe Pacheco, even though his strength is to punch, will have to make an adjustment like he made a couple rounds ago. And look to box a little bit with the aggressive Makepula. But this late in the fight, it's tough to do that.
I think there's a cut on the right side of the face of Makepula. I think it's on the cheek. There's some blood there.
Watch Makepula. He'll get inside. There's one thing that Pacheco can maybe look to time Makepula with. And Makepula's doing a good job getting her up and changing distance again. Not waiting for the receipt. Not waiting for the champion to come back and catch him. But watch one thing, Makepula. He'll make moves. He'll get in. He'll move his head. And then sometimes he'll come back in the middle. Like right there. He'll come right back in the middle. That is where Pacheco, if he's going to get control of this fight, is going to have to pull the trigger. There it is again. Makepula here. Get in and he'll come right back out. Sometimes not far enough out. Right there. That is where I believe Pacheco is going to have to time Makepula, who I think is taking control of this fight.
Pacheco landing with some good shots of his own. Another fairly close round.
In some circles, the old debate still rages. Use a mechanical grass seed spreader or sow by hand. Perhaps those on the fence haven't properly valued the method that leaves one hand free. Advantage High Life.
Call toll-free to get free information by mail about the Craftmatic Model 2 adjustable bed. This wonderful bed adjusts to hundreds of relaxing positions, offers optional